So now let's talk about creating sheets for different components. So I'll go to this new sheet option and let's just call it nut. So I'm going to make one for nut, another one for bolt and other components too. NCB landscape, apply changes. Done. Now here I'm just going to include the nut in our drawing. To do that, I'll go to drawing, model view, browse, and just select nut from this list. So we have got all of these inside the rod assembly folder. I'll select nut from this list, click open, and now I'm going to add it right about here. Now the scale is quite big, which we will fix in a moment. But first, let's just move it here and an isometric view right about here. I'll click OK, and then I'll select the primary view, which is this one, and I'll change that scale to 5:1. That looks better. Click OK. I'll select the isometric view and change its style to shaded with edges and done. And maybe I'll just move it here. And this one too, right about here. Now here you can add detailed dimensions. Since we have one for nut, we can add the dimension for only this part. So I'll add one here, that's 6. And if you want to add the distance between this and this, that's here. To add the height, well, we can add it on this view. So as clearly visible, so I'm just going to add it here. And finally, the radius of these fillets. So there we are. Now, of course, we may need to just modify this because we have 6 of these fillets. So 3 here, 3 here. So click on this to modify. And now here we have radius dimension value. Now you can add a prefix. For example, here you can just go to dimension text and then select 6x as the prefix. There we are. So we have got 6 times radius. All right, click OK, and we have this added. Now, in a similar way, you can make drawing for every single component. So let's make it for one more component. So I'm going to create a new sheet. I'll leave the default name, NCB, apply changes, and let's go to drawing and model view. Now select browse, and let's add one more component here. Now, maybe I'll simply add the bottom half part of the rod and click open. Now here we have the bottom half part and then its projected views. So this is the next view and the isometric. Click OK, and maybe for the isometric, I'm changing the visual style now. So I'll change that to shaded with edges, and well, that's it. Let's move it here. And once again, we have these views. Now, if you want to once again make detailed drawing and want to add annotations, well, you can do that here. So go to annotation and just add a few annotations if you want. So in this case, I'll add annotations right about here, which we did not add in the assembly view. And then I'll add another one right here. We can also add the radii for this one, which is 30, and this one too. That also happens to be 30. Now, in a similar way, you can add more such dimensions on all the different views. Now, finally, as you can see, this is the bottom rod, so we can rename this sheet. So I'll right click here, rename, and I'll call it bottom rod. So now we have 4 different sheets and we are all set with this drawing. If you want to add more, you can definitely go ahead and add as many sheets as you like. But before we do that, I'm just going to save it. So I'll click on save. And in the same location where we have all the assembly files, I'm just going to save it. So here assembly-drawing is the name that I'm going to use, and I'll save it in this SolidWorks drawing format, SLDDRW. Click OK, and we are done. Now, if you want to print this, the option is right here. Go to File, Print, and now the first thing is page setup. But before that, you need to select a plotter. So I'm just going to print it as PDF. So I'll select Print to PDF. Then page setup, and right here you can make changes. Now here I'll make a few changes. Well, the first thing is, well, this one. So I want to use the document settings. So whatever settings we've specified in the document, we just want to use it. And also I want to apply the settings to all sheets. If you want to apply it individually, select this, apply it individually, but we want to apply the same settings for every single sheet. Then I'll select scale to fit so that everything fits inside this sheet, and color, I'll leave the default color. With that, just click OK and just OK again. And here we are. So here once again, I'll just go to this connecting rod folder, and inside the same folder, I'm just going to save this drawing file. So drawing print, that's the name I'm going to use, and click on save. And now this will plot it in PDF format, which you can of course later print using a real plotter. And here we have the real PDF drawing file. So as you can see in this PDF drawing file, we have the sheet 1, which is cover sheet. Then we have sheet 2, which is this entire assembly. Then we have sheet 3, where we have this nut and the bottom half of this connecting rod. So we have got this 4-sheet drawing, and everything is available here in the bookmark too. So if you expand this and if you just click here, you can see the bookmarks right here. So you can select any thumbnail that you want and it's going to take you there. So that's how we can create drawing and print in SolidWorks.